Ever run your fingers over like a gorgeous leather bag
Hmm.
or jacket and wondered, how'd they make this thing?
Yeah.
Today we're going behind the scenes to meet the unsung heroes of that process. Leather goods, maintenance technicians.
Okay.
Get ready to deep dive into a world where craftsmanship
Interesting.
meets high-tech machinery.
Yeah, it's a blend a lot of people don't expect, right?
Right.
We picture like the old school workshops,
Mm-hmm.
but these technicians are on the front lines of a rapidly evolving industry.
Yeah, we're digging into RoleCatcher's career guide,
Okay.
and their data really highlights that
Ah,
apparently 59% of the job is straight up equipment maintenance.
yeah. And we're not talking about your grandma's sewing machine here.
Right.
Think industrial grade cutting, lasers,
Wow.
automated stitching systems, even computerized finishing machines that give leather that like perfect polished look.
Okay.
It's high-tech stuff.
So picture this.
Okay.
A factory floor buzzing with these powerful machines, and
Mm.
you're the one keeping them humming. What's that like day to day?
What's a lot more dynamic than some people might assume,
Okay.
you're analyzing why a laser cutter is off by like a fraction of an inch,
Wow.
or troubleshooting a sensor malfunction in a multi-axis stitching arm.
So there's like a real detective element to it.
Absolutely.
I bet you have to be equal parts mechanic and like tech whiz.
Totally. You're not just swapping out parts.
Yeah.
You need to understand the intricate workings of these systems,
Right.
analyze data logs,
Okay.
and even predict potential problems before they like bring production to a halt.
Wow. So you're like the Sherlock Holmes of stitching machines.
There you go.
But it's not all solo sleuthing, is it?
No, not at all.
Okay.
A big part of the role is communication.
Okay.
You're reporting your findings to decision makers,
Mm-hmm.
suggesting improvements to equipment or processes,
Mm.
and really becoming like a key voice in optimizing the entire production line.
That's fascinating. You're not just fixing machines, you're influencing how things are done,
Yeah.
potentially even shaping the future of leather goods manufacturing.
But let's get real for a second. What's the work environment actually like?
Yeah.
RoleCatcher doesn't sugarcoat it.
It's definitely not for everyone.
Okay.
We're talking factory floors,
Right.
which means noise,
Yeah.
dust being on your feet a lot,
Yeah.
and sometimes wrestling with heavy equipment.
They even mentioned the potential for repetitive strain injuries
Right.
as a downside.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be mindful of.
Mhm.
Proper ergonomics
Right.
and safety protocols are absolutely essential in this line of work.
Okay.
But for someone who thrives in a hands-on problem-solving environment
Yeah.
and enjoys seeing tangible results,
Mm.
it can be incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, there's a certain satisfaction in bringing a machine back to life,
Right.
especially when you know it's going to be part of creating something beautiful and lasting.
Absolutely.
So let's say someone is intrigued by this blend of grit and craftsmanship.
Okay.
What does the career path look like?
Well, RoleCatcher outlines a pretty clear progression.
Starting with entry-level junior technician roles, where you're really just learning the ropes,
Mm,
building a foundation.
right.
As you gain experience and expertise, you can move up to senior technician,
Okay.
taking on more responsibility, and potentially even leading a small team.
Okay, so you're moving from fixing individual machines to overseeing the maintenance of like an entire section of the factory floor.
Yeah.
What happens next?
From there, you might find yourself on the path to supervisor or even management positions.
Wow.
Imagine overseeing an entire department,
Okay.
managing budgets,
Mm-hmm.
making strategic decisions about equipment upgrades and long-term maintenance strategies.
So you could go from wrenching on a skeeving machine,
Right?
and I'm assuming our listeners know what skeeving means,
Yeah, for
to running the whole show.
Exactly. And because this industry is constantly evolving,
Right.
there's always a demand for those who can not only keep up with new technology,
Mm-hmm.
but also lead the way in implementing and maintaining it.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. I love that this role combines hands-on work
Yeah.
with the opportunity to really geek out on cutting-edge technology.
It's good picks.
Speaking of which, there was one detail in RoleCatcher's guide that I found super intriguing.
Okay.
The emphasis on energetic consumption.
Oh, interesting.
What's that all about?
Well, that's where we see how this seemingly niche role connects to a much bigger picture.
Okay.
Consumers are increasingly demanding sustainably and ethically produced goods.
Right.
And that pressure trickles down to every aspect of manufacturing.
So it's not just about keeping the machines running. It's
Yeah.
about making sure they're running as efficiently as possible,
Exactly.
minimizing waste and energy use.
There you go.
Okay.
A skilled leather goods maintenance technician can analyze a machine's energy consumption, identify areas for improvement,
Okay.
and even suggest modifications or upgrades that reduce its environmental impact.
That's amazing. So you're not just a mechanic, you're a sustainability champion.
That's right.
Helping to make the fashion industry a little bit greener, one perfectly stitched seam at a time.
Love it. It's true. It's evolving,
Yeah.
beyond just keeping the gears turning.
Right.
It's about a deep understanding of the machinery and processes to minimize waste.
Okay.
And speaking of things evolving,
Yeah.
you might be surprised how many other career paths open up
Okay.
once you have this kind of experience under your belt.
Okay. You've got my attention.
Yeah.
Are you telling me my future as a leather goods maintenance technician could lead to something completely different?
Yeah,
Tell me more.
absolutely. RoleCatcher highlights this really well.
Okay.
Think about it.
Okay.
You're troubleshooting complex systems, analyzing performance data, maybe even doing some technical writing to document procedures.
Right.
These are valuable skills
Yeah.
across a ton of industries.
So it's not just about fixing that one type of machine.
Right.
It's about the problem-solving mindset you develop along the way.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher actually, they give an example. The leather goods production supervisor role.
Okay.
You go from maintaining the machines to overseeing the entire production flow.
Interesting. So instead of just making sure the laser cutter is calibrated,
Right.
you're making sure the whole team hits their targets,
Yeah.
managing inventory, ensuring quality, that kind of thing.
Right. And because you've been so hands-on with the equipment,
Right.
you're not just another manager.
Right.
You understand the intricacies of the process,
Yeah.
potential bottlenecks where improvements can be made.
You'd be like a conductor,
Yeah,
making sure the whole orchestra of leather production is in sync.
I like that.
Speaking of quality RoleCatcher, also mentioned something about a leather goods quality manager.
Oh, yeah, another great example.
Okay.
That keen eye you've developed, spotting tiny inconsistencies in stitching
Yeah.
or a slight variation in laser cutting. That becomes your superpower.
So you're not just catching defects, you're using your knowledge of the process to figure out why something's off and making sure it never happens again.
Exactly. And because you understand the capabilities and limitations of the equipment,
Right.
you're in a perfect position to develop quality control measures
Okay.
that make sense for those specific machines and materials.
That makes so much sense. You're not just maintaining machines, you're becoming a guardian of quality
There you go.
in the world of leather goods.
And let's not forget,
Yeah.
those communication skills you've honed,
Okay.
explaining complex technical issues
Mhm.
to non-technical folks,
Right?
those are golden.
Right, because not everyone can break down a CNC machine malfunction
Exactly.
in a way that even I could understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That ability to translate technical jargon into plain English
Mm.
opens doors to roles in technical writing,
Right.
training, maybe even marketing
Yeah.
for companies that manufacture this specialized equipment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
this deep dive isn't just for someone set on this one job.
Right.
It's for anyone who likes the idea of working with their hands, solving technical puzzles,
Yeah.
but also wants a career path with
Yeah.
options, right?
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher
Oh, yeah.
gets that.
Mm-hmm.
They even have a section
Uh-huh.
on transferable skills that you can highlight on your resume,
Right.
regardless of your past experience.
So you're not just a leather goods maintenance technician.
Well-
You're a skilled problem solver with technical expertise.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Something like that.
It's about framing your experience in a way that resonates with employers across different industries,
Yeah.
showing them you're adaptable and ready to learn.
Okay.
Now, before we move on completely,
Yeah.
there was one more nugget from the RoleCatcher guide I wanted to loop back to.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about
Yeah.
energetic consumption
Yeah.
and its link to sustainability?
Oh, absolutely. That really stood out to me.
Yeah.
It's not something you typically associate with a hands-on technical role,
Right.
but it makes so much sense.
Right.
Right. It highlights how interconnected everything is these days.
Oh, yeah.
Consumers care about
Yeah.
where their products come from,
Yeah.
the environmental impact,
Right.
the whole ethical manufacturing picture.
And companies are realizing that sustainability isn't just good for the planet.
Right.
It's good for business.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So a leather goods maintenance technician
Yeah.
isn't just keeping those machines humming.
Right.
They're potentially contributing to a more ethical and sustainable fashion industry.
Right.
which is pretty cool when you think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the role, the skills, the potential career paths,
Right.
even the ethical implications.
Yeah.
But I think there's one big question on everyone's mind.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this.
That's
Let's
all
talk
right.
numbers.
Exactly. What's
Yeah.
the pay like for someone in this line of work?
Well, like any job,
Right.
it varies based on experience,
Right.
location, company size, all that good stuff. But RoleCatcher provides some helpful averages
Okay.
based on their data.
Don't leave me in suspense.
Okay.
What are we talking about here?
On average, in
Yeah.
the U.S.,
Mm-hmm.
a leather goods maintenance technician can expect to make around $45,000 per year.
Okay. That's a solid starting point.
Yeah.
And I imagine with experience,
Mm-hmm.
additional certifications, maybe moving into those supervisor roles we discussed,
Right.
that number can go up significantly.
Absolutely. It's a field with room for growth,
Right.
both in terms of responsibility and earning potential.
Yeah.
But as always,
Right.
salary is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. It's got to be a job you actually enjoy doing, too.
Exactly. You have to factor in work-life balance,
Sure.
company culture, opportunities for advancement, those less tangible but equally important aspects.
Well said. It's about finding a career that's both financially rewarding
Yeah.
and personally fulfilling.
Couldn't agree more. And sometimes that means branching out, exploring industries or roles you might not have considered before.
Which is what this whole deep dive is about.
There you go.
Opening up possibilities, expanding horizons, maybe sparking an aha moment for someone who never even knew this kind of work existed.
Exactly. The world of work is constantly changing,
Right.
which can be daunting but also exciting.
Right.
Resources like RoleCatcher help make sense of it all.
So true. Now, before we jump into our next deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to take a moment to appreciate the artistry and skill
Yeah.
that goes into those beautiful leather goods we've been talking about.
Absolutely.
It's a true blend of tradition and technology,
It is.
from the craftspeople who cut, stitch, and finish each piece, to the technicians who keep those incredible machines running smoothly.
A lot of hands involved.
Absolutely. Speaking of blends, when we
Right.
come back,
Yeah.
we're going to explore another fascinating intersection.
Okay.
The world of fashion and technology. You know, it's funny how we think of fashion and technology as like these separate worlds, but they're actually weaving together in some really amazing ways.
Yeah, it's a fascinating intersection for sure.
Okay.
Technology is kind of changing every aspect of fashion,
Mm-hmm.
from how clothes are designed and manufactured
Right.
to how we even shop for and experience them.
Okay, so paint a picture for me.
Okay.
What are some of the trends shaping this fashion tech frontier?
Well, wearable technology is a big one.
Okay.
And I'm not just talking about like
Sure.
fitness trackers anymore,
Mm-hmm.
although those are getting seriously stylish too.
Okay.
Designers are incorporating things like flexible displays,
Wow.
sensors that respond to your environment, even LEDs that light up
Right.
into clothing and accessories.
So instead of just telling time, your watch might display like a custom light show based on your outfit.
Exactly. Yeah,
A
or
sense level.
imagine a dress that subtly changes color with the temperature,
Wow.
or a handbag that like charges your phone wirelessly.
Okay.
It's about seamlessly blending technology into our everyday lives, making it both functional and fashionable.
Okay, I'm here for it. What else is pushing the boundaries in this space?
Well, 3D printing is another game changer.
Okay.
We're moving away from mass production
Mm.
towards personalized fashion.
Okay.
Imagine getting a garment custom fit to your exact measurements
Yeah,
without ever stepping foot in a tailor shop.
that would be a dream come true.
Right.
No more trying on a dozen sizes to find one that kind of fits.
Exactly. And 3D printing allows for incredible precision and customization.
Right.
Plus, it has the potential to be much more sustainable,
Okay.
reducing waste, and minimizing the environmental impact of fashion,
Right.
which is obviously a huge concern these days.
It's like the ultimate win-win
It is.
personalized style that's also good for the planet.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered designing and making clothes,
Right.
but what about the shopping experience?
Oh, yeah.
Is technology changing that too?
Absolutely. Things like virtual reality and augmented reality
Okay.
are transforming how we try on clothes. Imagine trying on like a dozen outfits without leaving your house
Right.
or using your phone to see how a new pair of shoes would look
Great.
with your favorite jeans.
Okay, that would be dangerously convenient.
Right.
I can see myself spending way too much time trying on virtual outfits.
It's addictive.
Yeah?
And some companies are taking it even further,
Okay.
creating virtual fashion shows
Ah,
and immersive shopping experiences.
really?
Imagine attending a runway show from your living room,
Yeah.
or like taking a virtual tour of a designer's atelier.
It's like fashion meets the metaverse.
Exactly.
But it's not just about high-tech spectacle, is it?
No,
It sounds like technology is also making fashion more accessible and inclusive.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
For example,
Mm-hmm.
some companies are using technology to create adaptive clothing
Okay.
for people with disabilities,
Right.
making it easier for them to dress independently
Yeah.
and express their personal style.
That's amazing.
Uh,
Everyone deserves to feel confident and stylish, regardless of their abilities.
exactly. And it goes beyond just adaptive clothing.
Okay.
Technology can promote like body positivity and diversity in fashion.
Right.
There are apps that let you create avatars
Right.
with different body types and skin tones to see how clothes would actually look on someone who looks like you,
Right.
not just a runway model.
It's about time.
Right.
We ditch those unrealistic beauty standards and embrace the beauty of individuality.
Couldn't agree more. Technology has this incredible power
Yeah.
to make the fashion industry more sustainable, inclusive, and accessible for everyone.
Yeah, this has been an incredible journey.
It has.
Who knew we could go from the intricacies of leather goods, maintenance,
Right.
to the future of fashion
Right.
in just one deep dive.
There you go.
But that's what I love about exploring different career paths.
Right.
You never know where it might lead you or what connections you'll uncover.
It's all connected,
Right?
just like those threads in a beautifully crafted leather bag.
Well said. And on that note, dear listener, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, and never be afraid to dive deep into something new.
So you're here?
You never know what hidden passions you might discover. This has been The Deep Dive, and we'll be back next week with a brand new episode and another opportunity to expand our minds together.